Batman. What do we think about when we think about Batman? Do we think about grown men in gray or black tights? Do we think about, wow, what a badass, I wish I had all that money? Or perhaps you're like me and you think about Christopher Nolan's version of Batman in the Dark Knight when he says, "Where are they?" I'll tell you what I think about when I think about Batman. I think about philosophy. Now, I know the two sound like they're two totally different realms, but I've been reading philosophy and I've been reading comic books for 5 years now, and I can say that the two complement each other quite well. Now, when I say philosophy, I'm being a little bit vague, so let me be more specific. I'm talking about ethics. Now, why might we want to learn about ethics? Well, the term ethics and morality gets thrown around so often without really being analyzed, so it's probably a good idea to understand what exactly we mean by these terms, ethics and morality. So what I intend to do today is I intend to inform you all about 3 different ethical theories, namely deontology, utilitarianism, and moral nihilism, by using comic book characters as examples. Starting with the most intimidating sounding one, deontology. Now, I don't have the time to get into the definition of what deontology is, but I think if I use some examples, it should shed some light on to what exactly it is. In The Dark Knight, Batman throws the Joker off the ledge of an unfinished skyscraper. But rather than letting him flat fall to the ground, he pulls out his grapple gun, shoots down, catches his legs, and makes sure he does not fall and die. Now, the fictional city of Gotham would be much better without the Joker, obviously, because he terrorizes it constantly. So why does Batman save him? Well, this is the part that sheds light on what deontology is. Deontology judges actions and actions alone, never the consequences. To give another example, Immanuel Kant, who in his essay on a supposed right to lie from altruistic measures, writes that we are morally obligated to tell the truth even to a murderer who is coming to murder your friend. Why? Because he says that we ought to judge actions, not consequences. This directly contradicts the next theory, utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is a little bit easier to explain because it's based on the sole principle of pleasure. John Stuart Mill writes in his book, Utilitarianism, that we are morally obligated to do what maximizes pleasure for the most amount of people. A good example of this is in Watchmen. There's one particular character that thinks that it is okay to kill millions. And when he is confronted about it, he says to save billions. So he believes that even if this atrocious action takes place that is morally justified because he would be saving billions of people. Now, where does that leave room for a third theory? In one of my previous speeches, I talked about nothingness. And apparently it wants to make a curtain call because that is exactly what moral nihilism is about. Moral nihilists hold that we either can't know what is moral or that morality doesn't even exist. Now, I can think of 2 really good examples of moral nihilists. One is the Joker. He cares not about anything about morality. He just does what he does because why not? He has no virtuous goal or virtuous ethic to him. And then the second one is the comedian from Watchmen. The comedian simply laughs off his colleagues whenever they propose doing something moral. One of the Watchmen characters says that they should try to save the world, and the comedian just laughs and mocks it. So I hope that this has helped you understand these three ethical theories. Deontology judges actions and actions alone, never consequences. This is Batman. Batman refuses to kill any of his villains because he is judging actions, and he thinks to himself, if I kill this person, even if Gotham City is better, what makes me any different from this particular villain? This is the exact opposite of utilitarianism, which holds that we should judge only the consequences and not the actions. As I gave an example earlier, Watchmen, this particular character from Watchmen, is a great example of that because he is willing to kill millions in order to save billions. And lastly, moral nihilism. Moral nihilism holds that there is no morality, and that even if there was, we don't even know what it is, and we will never find out. So when you guys are putting on your tights and getting ready to go out and fight crime, ask yourself which one of these ethical theories is going to apply to you.